Mali and Burkina Faso are drifting further from France's grip and from ECOWAS as West Africa witnesses a new era of unity. And while regional powers like Nigeria try to reassert control, something far bigger is unfolding. What if I told you the most ambitious railway project in all of Africa isn't happening in South Africa, Egypt, or even Nigeria, but right in the very heart of the Sahel? That's right. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have just broken ground on a railway project so enormous and historic it's being called a continental game changer. This isn't just about building rail lines, it's about rewriting Africa's destiny from underground resources to international borders. So buckle up, because what you're about to witness is Africa's boldest transportation revolution, and it's already shaking the geopolitical order. This isn't just steel and track, it's sovereignty on rails. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are flipping the switch on colonial trade routes. And at the center of it all, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, leading the charge with a fearless determination. Imagine this: 1,200 kilometers of rail slicing across the Sahel, connecting mineral-rich heartlands directly to the Atlantic Ocean. It's not just a railway, it's a revolution laid in steel. For decades, these countries were trapped in dependency. Foreign companies controlled the ports, the exports, and the profits. But under Traore's leadership, that ends. Burkina Faso is not just participating, it's anchoring the project, coordinating logistics, driving negotiations, and channeling funding straight into African hands. But this isn't just about moving cargo, it's about transforming minds. This railway is expected to slash transport times by 60%, cutting costs dramatically for farmers, miners, and local businesses. No more bleeding money just to move goods. This line is power, economic, political, and psychological, and it's green. Traoré insisted on hybrid solar-electric locomotives, making this one of the most sustainable transport systems on the continent. Critics called it impossible. Traoré responded with the bulldozers, blueprints, and boots on the ground. Every railway station is being designed to reflect traditional Sahelian architecture, merging culture and innovation. This is African-built, African-owned, African-proud, and when that first train pulls into Ouagadougou, don't be shocked if Captain Traoré himself is at the helm, hand on the throttle, driving a new era forward. But this revolution isn't just steel and strategy, it's also security. The three nations have signed a new security and economic alliance, a united front against any foreign aggression. They're calling it the Liptako Gourma Charter, and it's a direct response to the full rejection of French influence and decades of exploitation. The Sahel isn't poor, it's been looted. For decades, foreign mining companies extracted gold, uranium, and lithium while giving crumbs in return. But that era is closing. Now, with this railway, the Sahel controls the entire value chain, from resource extraction to export. Traoré's vision is clear. The wealth stays where it's mined. Over 38,000 local workers are already employed in construction. Engineers, welders, apprentices, they're not being handed charity. They're building the nation with their own hands. And the benefits don't stop there. Once operational, the railway is projected to reduce shipping costs by up to 70%. That means mangoes, shea butter, and cotton reaching Europe fresh and fast, without the inflated costs that kill small businesses. Multinationals are no longer calling the shots. Traoré isn't dancing to the tune of the IMF either. No debt traps disguised as development. Instead, the project is being funded by a hybrid model: state reserves, backed infrastructure banks, and a new innovation: diaspora bonds. Traoré personally appealed to Africans abroad. You left the motherland, but her heartbeat still echoes in your chest. Invest in her veins. And they are. Because this isn't just a project, it's a movement. Now, let's talk geopolitics. When Traoré, Mali's Assimi Goïta, and Niger's Abdurrahmane Tiani signed the trilateral deal, it wasn't just diplomacy, it was defiance. Three former French colonies rejecting Paris's influence and building a new axis of African power. France is furious. The expulsion of French troops from Burkina Faso was only the beginning. Now they're watching sovereign infrastructure rise, outside French control, outside IMF debt strings, outside Western reach. But this is more than just economic defiance. It's geopolitical warfare, waged with the bolts, concrete, and a vision no longer bound by colonial borders. Support has come from unexpected places. Russian engineers helped design specs. Iranian firms contributed renewable energy technology. And even Saudi Arabia, typically quiet on such matters, offered discreet logistical support. Why? Because everyone sees what Traore sees. The old world order is crumbling. At the groundbreaking ceremony, flanked by armored bulldozers and roaring cheers, Traore declared, "We are not pawns in someone else's game. We are architects of our own future." And the crowd roared. This railway isn't just infrastructure, it's a red line, a declaration, neither east nor west, but with the people. It will be used by military convoys for regional defense. Emergency aid will travel it during droughts. This is more than transport, it's survival, it's strategy, it's sovereignty on rails. All three countries now operate under a security pact. Any attack on one will be seen as an attack on all. They are defending themselves, not just from terrorism, but from economic and political aggression. ECOWAS. Threats no longer feared. This is mutual protection, a wall of solidarity. But it doesn't stop with politics or transport. It pulses with culture. Traoré demanded that this railway reflect not only modern African ambition but ancient African soul. Every major station will double as a cultural center. Art galleries, storytelling halls, markets, run by local communities. In Burkina Faso, the Ouagadougou terminal is being designed by Pan-African architects, inspired by Mossi and Mande earth temples. Mali's sections will feature Dogon cosmology. Niger's will reflect Fulani pastoral aesthetics. This isn't decoration, it's declaration. Infrastructure without culture is just concrete. With culture, it's pride. Murals are already rising across construction zones, telling the story of the Sahel's journey from chains to change. Youth are writing songs and poems. One hit, of freedom, has gone viral and become the unofficial anthem of the movement. Schools have added transport logistics to their curriculum. Elders are recording oral histories to be played in train carriages, and even safety announcements will be made in local languages. Dioula, Fulfulde, Tamashek. Because in this new Sahel, inclusion isn't cosmetic, it's core. Every rail, every station, every track carries not just goods, but generations of hope, heritage, and momentum. This is how Traoré leads, not with blueprints alone, but with heartbeats. With every kilometer laid, the Sahel isn't just building tracks, it's building a future that connects cities to trade, people to power, culture to economy, past to progress. Yes, there will be obstacles. Yes, foreign interests will push back, but history favors the bold, and this project is bold in every sense of the word. If you believe Africa deserves world-class infrastructure built by its own hands and for its own people, share this video, spread the message. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger aren't waiting for outside salvation anymore. With every spike in the track, they're forging a new path, one of sovereignty, solidarity, and self-determination. Until next time, stay inspired. Africa is moving, and this time it's on its own rails.